Hi there. Today we are looking at peanuts. In African society, we call them groundnuts, a very important source of food in our homes. Groundnuts. This is the African mom official. Now, groundnuts, they come from a leguminous plant. We plant them during the rain season in our country. We plant them, and this plant extends its roots into the soil. Into the soil, it forms some pods, and inside those pods, we have our groundnuts. After around 3 to 4 months, we come to harvest what is underground. When you remove them from the ground, they are in forms of pods, a very hard pod. And if you continue drying them in that state, they can be kept even for a year without any preservation. The seeds inside the pod, which are the ones we remove to eat, are the ones we call groundnuts. What is in the groundnuts? Groundnuts are a source of proteins to us. Very high level of proteins, very many types of amino acids are found inside the groundnuts. They also have a lot of vitamins for us. Groundnuts have a lot of minerals. For example, magnesium and copper. A lot of them are found in groundnuts. Very many vitamins like vitamin E, vitamin B are found inside our groundnuts. Our grandparents used to keep the groundnuts for many years in their houses. Remember, I have said the pod is very hard. Unless you break it manually, the groundnut will not come out. The seed, which we are calling the groundnut, will not come out. These groundnuts, also being a plant, they have a very high source of fiber for us in our bodies. Now let us look at why it was important for every African mom to have groundnuts in their homes. I have said they are a source of food. Every breakfast would have to be given some groundnuts. When they wanted to munch on something in the course of the day, they would simply reach out to pick a few nuts to eat, groundnuts. Now, the groundnuts were known to be some form of food that had beneficial attributes for our grandparents. And that is why they kept them. They would not serve a full plate, but they would only serve them in small quantities. Groundnuts were known to reduce high levels of cholesterol in our body. High levels of cholesterol that destroy the heart, that destroy the arterioles and arteries in our bodies. You know, our grandparents did not know those names, arterioles or arteries. But keeping the groundnuts, they knew that they were healing their hearts. They knew that they were healing their blood vessels. Groundnuts, it's known to lower the bad cholesterols in our system by increasing the required type of cholesterol. Groundnuts, my dear African moms, make groundnuts a daily meal in your house. Groundnuts, apart from improving the heart health, they were also known to have some beneficial fatty acids. It was equated to omega 3. These groundnuts, you know what omega 3 does? Omega 3 removes the build-up of fatty layers in our arterioles. Omega 3. That is what groundnuts do in our body. They remove the build-up of lipids and fats and whatever it is from our arterioles so that we have proper flow of blood in our blood vessels. Can you imagine? Our grandparents did not have those terms, but they knew that groundnuts were very important. So if your blood vessels, if your arterioles are being cleaned, equivalent to omega-3 removing the bad accumulated fats, it means that the same groundnuts, the more I eat them, the more the high blood pressure is reduced in our body. It is good for patients with high hypertension. Those are our groundnuts. They were known to improve our brain functioning. Every home was keeping groundnuts, and they would ensure that every child is given a few of them every day. The old people would use a little of each every day for purposes of improving our memory, for purposes of making our brain function in a proper way. It's even believed that the more you eat groundnuts, the cleverer you become. Those were our grandparents. They did not know about the memory, but they knew you'd become clever. By the way, groundnuts are a source of food. So when you eat them, you get satisfied. And you just eat a little. After you have eaten a little, you find that you feel satisfied. And because they have a low amount of carbohydrate, they are known to promote some weight loss among those people who want to reduce their weight. Those are our groundnuts. If you want to reduce your weight, then make groundnuts a daily meal for you. Weight loss can be promoted by groundnuts. Groundnuts also are referred to as having a very high level of antioxidants. In the olden days, we did not hear our grandparents say diseases such as cancer. Sometimes I even wonder if cancer existed in the olden days. These people knew the type of foods to use. Groundnuts have a high level of antioxidants. And because they have antioxidants, then these antioxidants, when they are inside our bodies, they fight off the carcinogenic material in our body. They fight off the free radicals roaming in our body and causing a lot of sickness in your body. Antioxidants. Therefore, they were known to reduce the cancer cases in the African society. Groundnuts have also been found to be a solution to gallstones formed in our bodies. The gallstones in our body, just continue managing the groundnuts. You know, you cannot say you are taking it and you recover the same day. But the accumulated effects of using these nuts is what is going to help us in Africa. Use our groundnuts the way our parents used them. They were known to promote skin and organ health in our bodies. To have the smooth skin. To have a skin that's not stretching carelessly. Groundnuts were used to keep the beauty of the skin and to make the organs of the body to be very strong. How were our parents using groundnuts? I have told you that the groundnut is a seed from this leguminous plant called the peanut or called the groundnut in most African countries. Now, when you get the pods from the soil, you can wash them and then you can cook the groundnuts. And then after that, take your time breaking the pods and eating the cooked nut inside the pod. Sometimes you remove the seeds from the pod and then you just boil the nut. You will still have your benefits. Majority of our people roast the groundnuts. We roast the groundnuts. And when they are roasted, we enjoy them for every particular meal. This is the African Mom official channel. We bring you what our grandparents used to cook. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe.